I mean, I work with police every day, and they are some of the best people I know. And Mr. DuBose simply didn't follow simple, non-violent commands. He was subdued. The cop had his license plate number. I mean, it was so unnecessary for this to have occurred. And the policemen I know and the investigators that I work with every day, this situation would never have escalated like this. You know, people want to believe that Mr. DuBose had done something violent towards the officer. He did not. He did not at all. And I feel so sorry for his family and what they lost. And I feel sorry for the community too, because we've worked so hard to develop great police relationships with the community, and to have this type of a senseless act take place in Cincinnati, this doesn't happen in the United States, okay? This might happen in Afghanistan or somewhere. This just does not happen in the United States. People don't get shot for a traffic stop unless they're violent towards the police officer. And he wasn't. He was simply slowly, you're going to see it, he was simply slowly rolling away. That's all he did.
You know what, in the United States, also, cops don't get indicted for murder very often in the United States.
That's true. And you all have covered me for a long time. And you know that this office has probably reviewed upwards of 100 police shootings. And this is the first time that we thought this is without question a murder. Yes, Sherry.
The officer's attorney told us that the officer was dragged, and I believe the incident report suggests that too. Does the video show that at all?
No, he wasn't dragged.
Was he ever knocked to the ground from the hood of the car?
No. He fell backwards after he shot him in the head.
There have been some comments that perhaps this officer was in over his head making this traffic stop and panicked. Is that in any way, shape, or form what we see on the video, what you've seen?
I think he lost his temper because he wasn't, you know, Mr. DuBose wouldn't get out of his car. I think he lost his temper. And when you see this, you will not believe how quickly he pulls his gun and shoots him in the head. It's maybe a second. It's incredible. And so senseless. And again, I feel so sorry for his family. And I feel sorry for the community. This should not happen, ever.
What did the officer suggest happened in his statement to the police?
He said he was dragged.
What did you tell his family, Mr. DuBose's family, and what was their reaction?
They're in a very sensitive place right now because of their loss. I simply told them we were seeking a murder indictment for what happened. And, you know, I believe we can make them available. Julie, is that correct?
They're going to let me know.
If they want to talk to you all.
Have they seen the video?
They have.
Were they in the building?
I showed it. Yes. Some of them. It was horrible. I mean, it's you know, you see your relative get shot in the head. It's horrible.
Joe, is it going to be so horrible that the community or even outsiders will look past or not see the murder and go right to that? Are you concerned at all about what this is going to possibly cause?
Well, I think that because we acted as rapidly as we could, we returned a murder indictment against a police officer. It was, and keep in mind, this is not Cincinnati. This is the University of Cincinnati. I would hope that people would, as they reflect on this entire situation, realize that we sought justice, which is my job, and did the right thing. And you know, when you all see this video, and we're going to play it here for you in a second, and we'll give you copies of it for your use. It's just senseless. It is. Didn't have to happen. Yeah, Tom. Good.
Officer Kidd, I mean, backed up the story in the report for Officer Kidd.
We're looking at that, John. We're looking at that entire issue right now, and we promised the family we would look at that. It is our belief that he was not dragged. I mean, if you slow down this tape, you see what happened. But it is a very, very short period of time from when this car just starts slowly rolling that the gun is out and he's shot in the head.
I know this is a somewhat of a side issue now, maybe, but over the last week and a half, there have been so many calls to release this video early. Would you just comment for us about why you insisted that this video not be released until now, until this investigation is done?
It was an investigatorial technique. I mean, we have a cop who was a target of an investigation, and he was talking. And I didn't want the video to be on television and then have later witnesses and or a targeted defendant couch his testimony around that. So I chose to do that, and you all sued me, so congratulations. And you all lose, too.
Hey, Joe, the family's attorney yesterday had said to me that he didn't think there would be an indictment because getting an indictment on a cop is too hard and not enough time had passed for an investigation. I guess I don't know how it's done here, or can you respond to that?
I think it was very important that we responded rapidly to this case, especially after we saw the tape. And look, we don't mess around here. If we think something's awry, we go after it. And I assume the indictment's been reported out now, Julie. And a warrant for his arrest has gone out, and hopefully they'll pick him up soon.
Joe, that was my question. Have you discussed, is he going to turn himself in his scheduled time? Have you talked to his attorney?
I'm treating him like a murderer.
Is he in custody right now? Or is he
They're out to get him. We asked his lawyer to turn him in if he wants, but we're going to arrest him.
as we speak?
Yes.
You're still going to go forward with the Supreme Court, though, to try to get this idea of a body cam as a public record decided, correct?
We'd like to. We think that the issue's probably going to be moot after today, but it would be nice to get some direction from the Supreme Court.
You've worked with officers in many, many cases, and you said you've been prosecuted officers before. What should the officer have done in this case? You said he reacted, it's moments before the car slowing away and the officer fires. What should he have done?
He wasn't dealing with someone who was wanted for murder, okay? He was dealing with someone who didn't have a front license plate. I mean, this is, in the vernacular, a pretty chicken crap stop, all right? And I could use harsher words. But nonetheless, if he's starting to roll away, just seriously, let him go. I mean, you don't have to shoot him in the head. And that's what happened.
Joe, how long is the videotape?
The videotape is about, I'm going to give you the entire video, so you'll have the entire video with you. I'm going to stop it after the shot takes place, because there's a lot of stuff after that where the cops are talking about what happened, and the defendant says, you know, I got my arm stuck and my arm's hurt and all that stuff. It's just nonsense.
What's the message to the community or to other police officers, Joe?
I mean, look, we're going to follow the law in this office, and we are going, if the facts fit the law, we're going to pursue that, no matter if you're a police officer or you're Pope Francis. I don't care who you are, and we're going to go after you.
Is this murder in the first degree, second degree?
There's not murder like that in Ohio. No, this is a purposeful killing of another person.
If convicted, what's the penalty, Joe?
Life in prison.
What can you tell us about the officer himself? Have you seen any of like his background or his records?
Nothing I'm going to share with you today.
But when you say he should not have been a police officer.
Don't sue me over that, Sherry.
I'm sorry, what?
I thought Sherry was going to sue me for that answer.
When you stated earlier that he should not have been a police officer, are you referring to this incident or other aspects of his police career?
I think you have to look at his entire body of work. And I don't know that UC could have found it out. And frankly, I told UC that Cincinnati police ought to have a District 6 and make it to the University of Cincinnati. Because I just don't. Look, the university, I graduated from UC twice. It's a wonderful university. I love their president. But they're not cops. And we have a great police department in Cincinnati, probably the best in Ohio. And I talked to the chief about it today, and I said, you know, you guys should be doing this stuff. And I think he's in agreement with it. The university does a great job educating people, and, you know, they made a lawyer out of me, kind of. And that should be their job. Being police officers shouldn't be the role of this university. I don't think so. Now, they can interview these guys, and I'm sure they had great cops in the university police department. But they should be held to the same standard. And if they were with the CPD, they'd be held to the same standard and training CPD officers are. And I think it would be a good thing for the university. That's just my personal opinion.
Have you been in contact with the university, and do you know if he's still employed there?
He's on administrative paid leave. And hopefully soon he'll be on administrative paid leave in the Justice Center.
His attorney, the officer's attorney, suggested that the political environment was propelling you toward an indictment.
That's nonsense. I'm not, if I was driven by politics or media pressure, I would have released this tape a long time ago.
So,
I'm not.
when you saw this video, I assume you probably were the first to see it, yes.
Not the first, but
Okay. When you saw it, share with us what went through your mind, given your career and what you have seen over the decades.
I can't say it in front of the media. I was shocked. And I realized what this was going to mean to our community, and it really broke my heart, because I know it's just bad. It's just bad what he did, and it shouldn't have happened. And you'll see for yourself.
Did you talk initially? We were hearing reports that it took a while to kind of come around to say he wanted to make a statement. When did you start talking?
Apparently, and you'd have to check this, Sherry. Apparently, in their union contract, the university police, when they're involved in an incident, are permitted up to 48 hours to talk to somebody. And I was not aware of that. I mean, I would have sent him a grand jury subpoena and forced him to testify, because, you know, but it did take some time. It did take some time.
Do you know when the board, the trustees of UC actually saw it?
They have not seen it.
They have not?
They have not. I asked the president, and he was planning on showing it to the board, and I asked him not to do that, because again, it would have become public. I wanted to keep it within law enforcement at all times.
Going back to what the officer said, once he did talk, did he say in that statement he was dragged, or was that just a knee-jerk reaction at the beginning? Did he stick to that story?
I can't talk about his statements. Okay, we're going to show this to you. This should take about probably 10 minutes, maybe at the most. Right, Peggy? Okay.
And there's audio with that, so.
Yeah, there's audio. At the beginning, there's no audio, then he turns on the audio switch. Anybody have any questions for me yet? Done? Okay. I'll tell you when to plug it.
All right, we are watching a live news conference here from the prosecutor's office. They are just about to play UC Officer Ray Tenzing's body cam video from that shooting incident on July 19th. And we just want to let you know that as this begins to play, our camera is actually going to pull away and most likely, point toward the direction of people watching the video in the room, because we do not want to show that specific moment right now until we can take a closer, look at the video, because it obviously can be very shocking to see something like this.
That's right. That's right. And as a matter of fact, that was one of the words that Prosecutor Joe Deters said. He said this was the most asinine act he has ever seen a police officer make. An absolute tragedy, and he also used the word senseless.
All right, we're watching this right now, and as the prosecutor had mentioned, there's no audio here at the beginning of the traffic stop, but then UC Officer Tenzing does switch on the audio for his body cam. We will begin to hear that audio here. You can hear, I believe, the door now opening. Again, watching this with you at home and online on WCPO.com right now. The few moments leading up to UC Officer Tenzing's contact with Samuel DuBose on that Sunday, July 19th, right around 7 p.m. As you can see, still a little daylight.
Yes, and it looks as though he is about to get out of the car. Let's take a moment and listen to the video. If you are just joining us, Prosecutor Joe Deters has announced that the grand jury has indicted University of Cincinnati police officer Ray Tenzing with murder charges. We are right now watching the body cam video from Officer Tenzing on July 19th. It appears that right now he's in the cruiser, and we are watching along with reporters at the news conference. You can see it live. It's also online on WCPO.com as he makes a traffic stop with Samuel DuBose.
Now at this point he's driving along. The actual traffic stop and everything takes place at Rice and Valencia and Mount Auburn. So here we see the officer still driving, has not made contact yet with Samuel DuBose. Again, the prosecutor calling this a senseless, horrible incident, saying that by the law he purposely killed Samuel DuBose in this incident, and right now a warrant has been issued for UC Officer Ray Tenzing's arrest. Right now, now Officer Tenzing has stopped his vehicle, as we can see in the body cam.
Prosecutor Deters said he has showed this video just now to Samuel DuBose's family, and he says he feels sorry for the family and for the community after seeing what this video shows. Now it appears that Officer Tenzing is, continuing to drive on. Obviously, this is the prelude to stopping Samuel DuBose. That happened in Mount Auburn at Rice and Valencia Streets on Sunday, July 19th at 7 p.m. Deters said, as I said, he said he felt sorry for the family after showing them this. He says DuBose did not do anything violent.
We just heard some radio traffic there.
Bill Street. Hey, firm. Phil just off the line.
Okay.
Apparently they've restarted the video.
Okay, we can hear, let's listen in. This is UC Officer Ray Tenzing with the radio call for the traffic stop.
Occupied by one. Hey, how's it going, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Officer Johnson, UC Police. Do you have a license on you?
Yeah, what happened? When did you go?
Okay. Is this your car?
Yeah.
It's going back to the female, actually.
My wife, her name is Samuel DuBose.
Okay. We don't have a front license plate on your car.
Oh, I can put my glove on. I have it.
What's that?
It's right here. I just,
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's got to go where the front plate's supposed to go.
well, I didn't know.
You don't have to reach for it. It's okay. You have a license on you?
Yeah.
What's that bottle on the floor there?
Oh, it's a bottle.
Bottle what?
You can smell it.
Okay. Do you have a license on you?
We are panning away from the video that Prosecutor Joe Deters is showing.
Okay. Do you know where that
because
or what?
we don't want to show until we have
Okay. I'm
viewed
going to ask you again. Do
the
you have your license?
actions that Deters believes are
So you
senseless
don't have your license on you?
and
I'm asking you
horrible.
a
We
direct
don't
question.
want to
Do you have
show
your
the
license?
actual shooting. Let's listen.
That's all I did. I understand. What did you pull me over for?
Again, the front tag.
But it's not illegal to have a front flag. It's
Okay. Actually, it is. I'm going to ask you again. Do you have a license on
I
you?
have a license. You can run my name.
Okay. Is that not on you then?
I don't think I have it on me.
Be straight up with me. Are you suspended?
No, I'm not suspended.
Why don't you have your license on you?
I just done my own side, so I'm gonna go in the house.
Okay. Where do you stay at? Down here?
Right around the corner.
Okay. Well, until I can figure out if you have a license or not, go ahead and take your seatbelt off for
I
me.
didn't even do nothing.
Go ahead and take your seatbelt off. Stop! I'm good. Man, just driving down the side of the road. I don't know about it. Huh?
Okay, the prosecutor's office has actually stopped the video at this point, and that's something that Prosecutor Joe Deters said that they would do, that they would only run it up until after that shooting actually took place, which the prosecutor said really took just about a second after the vehicle started to roll away. And one other point that the prosecutor had mentioned earlier, as we wait for someone else to go back up to the podium perhaps here, the prosecutor himself, he said it did not appear to him that the officer was dragged, which was reported
Right.
in the UC report.
And
He
now
was pursuing
Prosecutor
the
Deters
car
is
after he
answering
shot him in the
questions.
head.
Who was the other officer that we seen in the video?
Another UC police officer pulled up after he made the stop.
Joe, do you agree that it did not seem to show him being afraid for his life?
I agree with that. As I said before, it was a senseless, asinine shooting.
Did the gun come up twice, or did I imagine that?
What's that?
Did the gun come up and then down and then up again?
No, just once. I think it's just once. I'm almost certain of it.
Maybe I have that hearing. At what point on the video time, when we go back and look at it, did the gun fire?
The video time?
Yep. I didn't hear the pop, so maybe you can tell me where I should have heard it.
Well, when he got shot, if you can hear the car accelerating because he fell forward and must have pressed on the gas or something. He was dead instantly.
What did you say the possible sentence was?
Life in prison.
Do you just look at that and shake your head?
I couldn't believe it. I just could not believe it.
Hey, Joe, you moved up the release of the videos today. Initially, we were going to release yesterday. Can you explain
Yesterday.
why tomorrow?
Oh. We got done. We got done with the grand jury.
Is that the end of the video, or are you not showing us something?
No, you'll have it all. You'll have the whole thing.
So it's not quite over at this point?
Right. Other cops are asking what happened, things like that. And he said he got his arm stuck in the steering wheel, and he just had to watch it.
Do you think this officer intentionally tried to mislead investigators as to what actually happened?
Yeah. Yes. I think he was making an excuse for a purposeful killing of another person. That's what I think.
Even with the body cam video?
I'm not saying he's smart. I'm just saying what I think he did.
So was it in collusion with other officers, this report?
I don't think so. We're looking at that, Tom. The family raised that issue with us today, and we're going to look at that.
You talked about the idea UC Police should become Cincinnati Police District 6. How hard do you plan to push for that?
I've talked to the chief, I talked to the mayor, and I plan on talking to the university president. I've talked to board members at the university, and I just don't think a university should be in the policing business. I just don't think so. They got rid of them at University Hospital already. That's over with. I think CPD should be doing the entire campus.
Well, after the last lawsuit with the wrongful death lawsuit of a young man on campus, they got rid of tasers. Would tasers have helped in this situation, or is that just pure speculation?
That's just speculation. I mean, tasers are a very effective method to subdue violent people. I mean, this guy didn't deserve to be tased, and he certainly didn't deserve to be shot in the head.
Joe, did Officer Tensing turn the body cam video on himself?
Yes, he did.
Right as he got out of the car?
Well, when he was driving, it was on. Yeah.
One of the reasons for UC Police being pulled back onto campus was that they're not trained to the collaborative, but they're not knowledgeable enough of urban policing. Is this an urban policing situation, or just a bad policing situation?
It's just bad police. I mean, it's just, look, every occupation has people that shouldn't be doing it. You probably know it in your own line of work. And
Where do they wear their body cams?
I believe it's right here in the middle.
In the middle?
Yeah.
And do you feel like, how much would you say that this video helped the investigation into this?
It was invaluable. And
There hadn't been video.
if there hadn't been video,
Drag, that could have been.
exactly.
Cincinnati Police right now are pursuing a grant to purchase body cams.
I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea for police to wear that because, 9 times out of 10, it clears them of wrongdoing. And in this case, obviously, it led to an indictment for murder.
Do you know if it's common for universities to have their own police?
I think a lot of them do. A lot of them do. It's a culture of wanting to control your environment all the time. I was on UC's Board of Trustees, and this issue never came up. But clearly, there is an issue just off campus with violent crimes, and that's why they were bringing some of their university police down into those neighborhoods. I just think CPD would be better suited to do this than university police. I mean, when you lead to a murder like this, a shooting in the head, where your stop was no front license plate, I mean, that's crazy. I mean, that is just. And if you see this family, how they are suffering from this, it's ridiculous that this happened.
Did they see it at this speed, regular speed?
Yes.
Was it slow?
No, they saw it.
I'm going to have to slow it down to see exactly. Would you describe to me when exactly it was shot? Did they start?
Do you know, Peggy?
Around 3 minutes on the video player time is where you started.
Okay.
No, Chair, with the use, you're thinking about sending your kid to UC, and you wonder, is that who's protecting my child? I think it could be, have an impact on the.
Well, could you imagine the outrage you would have if this was your kid or if this was your brother over a stop like this? And he didn't do anything violent towards the officer. He wasn't dragging him. And he pulled out his gun and intentionally shot him in the head.
Do you feel like this is a training issue, that this is something that could happen
Cincinnati police have far more training than.
I don't know the training levels at all. I just think, I know how CPD is. I know, and I've traveled this state a lot, unfortunately. The level of professionalism and Cincinnati police are just really, really good. It's a great department. And if you have access to something like that, like the university would, I would take full advantage of it.
Based on police presence currently around the university and just basic, everybody's been so worried and nervous about what you were gonna say 30 minutes ago. Do you have a message to the community or to people that might be feeling violent?
Well, the family, and I will say this, I have paid attention to some of the protests about this. It didn't affect my decision in any fashion, but everyone seems to have behaved themselves, and the family has spoken out that any protest should be peaceful. They reiterated that to me again today, and that's the way it should be. People should have a right to speak out, but if you start breaking things and burning things, hopefully the Cincinnati police and the mayor will come down hard on them.
Do you think race played a part in this, or did the investigators look at that?
You know, I don't know if it did or not. I just don't, there's no evidence of it. But, you know, as we mentioned when we indicted the people that were at Fountain Square, you know, there was no evidence of ethnic intimidation there, but those are misdemeanors. I mean, this guy's facing life in prison. I couldn't care what his motivation was. I just know he intentionally killed somebody.
Joe,
Yeah.
It's a two-count indictment of voluntary manslaughter.
We backed it up. We backed up the murder charge with a voluntary manslaughter. It's a lesser included offense to murder. And what happens, Jeff, is sometimes if you get a goofy judge, they say, oh, you just charged him with murder. I'm not going to give a lesser included instruction. And so we backed it. We always back them up just in case the judge won't let us argue a lesser included offense.
Joe, I know you said that a warrant has been issued for him. His attorney, Stu Matthews, indicated us he's going to make arrangements to have him turn himself in. Do you have any information that is being done in conjunction with the prosecution?
I don't know. I told our investigators to go find him. Okay, thank you.